outside the limit of our sight, feeding off us, perched on top of us from birth to death, are our owners. Our owners. They have us. They control us. They are our masters. Wake up. They're all about you, all around you.
Where there's thunder, there's lightning. John Nada. This will be the last video for 2017. But the Days of Thunder will be back for the new year. And I hope that everybody's new year gets off to a great start. And while we're on the subject of New Year's, I was invited to a New Year's celebration by a friend of mine. He's a co-worker. And we've hung out from time to time when the schedule's allowed. But I'm not normally the kind of person that would go to a New Year's party. For me, New Year's, the concept of a New Year's party is you're celebrating the end of a year and the beginning of a new year. And for me, New Year's has always been about self-reflection, a time of introspection, a time of what did I do in this 12 months on planet Earth that I was given, and what am I going to do in this next 12 months to better my life and to better those who are in my life. And it's always been more of a thing where I would rather stay at home and watch the Twilight Zone marathon and do my own thing than to go out and be around a bunch of other people drinking and making fools of themselves. Although sometimes it is fun to watch people drink and make fools of themselves. I purchased the game Ark Survival. I had a friend that played it and started reading up on it a little bit and found the concept to be interesting. Now, this is all relevant because previously somebody had asked me, this was a woman that I'd kind of had a relationship with in the past, although it wasn't a real serious one. It was more of a friends with benefits type situation. And the more that I was around her, the more that she just had all these problems and issues that I just really didn't want to deal with. And I could go into more detail about that at another time. But what really caused me to not really want to go further with things with her was her lack of empathy, her lack of caring about what really went on in my life. Because anytime I brought it up, anytime I tried to talk about things that were bothering me or anything like that, I was always pretty much just told to be a doormat and just, you know, get over it or man up, as it were. But yet, whenever this person had a problem, I was supposed to just drop whatever I was doing. And most of the time, their problems were of their own makings. So needless to say, they wanted to spend some time together. And like I said, I just really wasn't interested in doing that. And as a Mgtow, it should be nothing new to most of you, the whole idea of being shamed for these things. And what I've found out is that if you are somewhat introverted of a person, or you're an introspected individual at all, you oftentimes are shamed because people act like there's something wrong with you. They think you're depressed. They think you're lonely. They think all these things about you. And yet what they never seem to realize is that what you actually are is content. You're not putting on this fake pseudo happiness. You're not putting on this pseudo mask to try to make everybody think you're this whirlwind jet setter. You're content with your life. You're happy. And what I think the society tries to do is the society seeks out those that are more introverted, those that are more thoughtful, those that spend time reflecting and in self-reflection, because they want to destroy those people. They want to destroy that kind of thinking because they want to condition people at large to be upset, to be discontent, and to be unhappy with life. I can't remember what the video was, but I was listening to something the other day that brought up the point of the conditioning that we as human beings, and particularly here in the West, have faced when it comes to consumer goods. Every year a new iPhone comes out. Every year or so a new game console comes out. And I can't help but remember the Maytag man and how our grandparents' generations bought a dryer and a washer for life. And they didn't just simply throw it out the next year when they came out with a new model or when it broke or when it needed to be, they didn't throw it out when they ran out of detergent and went and bought a new one. They took care of those things. They cultivated those things. They had those things repaired, and they lasted for quite a long time. But as I said, a new iPhone comes out every year, and most of them are not made to last. You drop it, it cracks. It gets a little wet, it's done. The society has to create a need to consume, and the society has to keep people from ever being content and from ever sitting down and actually looking at their life. The Hegelian Dialectic, if you will. Capitalism is not compatible with Marxism, so the compromise then is globalism. Traditional conservatives and men's rights activists are not compatible with feminism, and who knows what the outcome of this will eventually be. Although Mgtow is, in a sense, was forged in this crucible, was forged in this gynocentric viewpoint from both feminism and traditional conservatives. It's the problem, reaction, solution. And if you notice in the West, women continue to kvetch. Women continue to complain. No matter how good it gets for women, they always find some new reason to complain. And you need only look at celebrities, Emma Watson, Ashley Judd, Madonna, multimillionaires, have never known hardship, have never known persecution, and yet they travel around to peddle their feminism to the UN. They travel the country during the Women's March back in the month of March to talk about how oppressed women are. Problem, reaction, solution, because women must continue to invent new issues to gain ground, to wrest power and control for themselves. And you see it also with, I was listening to a podcast the other day where a transgendered person was debating a lesbian person. And throughout the conversation, the lesbian continued to say that she didn't feel like she had an all-woman space and that her space was being invaded by these people that were not really women. Women want their spaces, but men cannot have theirs. And women are very adamant about having their own spaces and defending those spaces. And this is why Mgtow is such a threat to many people. And again, it's the Hegelian dialectic. My idea of freedom conflicts with your idea of freedom. So then neither of us can have freedom until everyone agrees to be a slave. And Mgtow gives us options. It gives us a way out of this gynocentric society. It allows us to protect and defend ourselves. And it is a space for men because it's about men, and it's about men going their own way. And anything that's about men, protecting men, in the furtherance of men, is instantly seen as a problem, is instantly seen as an issue. And this is why there has been the concerted effort over the years to invade every single male space until there is no longer any male space. Look at the NFL, look at the Australian Football League, look at soccer over the years. Look at any sport, and you'll see the concerted effort. UFC is a prime example. So the message is clear. Men are not allowed to have spaces of their own. And this is why they desperately desire to destroy Mgtow, but they're unable to do so. And another great example of that is, look at the Star Wars franchise. What was historically, a male, a story and a movie and a concept that had been historically geared towards men and kids, young boys. Look at it now. The overt SJW, overt feminist, I've not seen any of the new movies, but I've heard enough of the commentaries on them to realize and to understand what the attempt there with the franchise, what their attempts was with it. And so that is why Mgtow and the concepts within Mgtow bother so many people. They want us to go their own way, they say, but yet they won't let us. It's not unlike Moses and Pharaoh. They keep changing their minds. They want us to leave Egypt, but then when we're ready to go, they change their mind at the last minute because they realize what the repercussions of that are in the long term and what they would be. Their problem, though, is in not having a central organization or a central figure or a central group of figures to attack, because we're all men going our own way, shooting out in different directions like a supernova, and you cannot pin us down, and we don't have a rebel base to destroy. It's not like if you find us on planet Hoth, it's the end. It's the end of the Rebel Alliance, so to speak. We're everywhere, and we're nowhere. And so now I'd like to just take the last few minutes of the video to encourage, give you guys some encouragement for the new year. If you didn't accomplish what you wanted to this year, or if maybe you made some progress in a hobby or some resolution that you made at the beginning of this year, take heart in that we have a new year that we're going into. And so let's go into it with optimism. This channel has certainly grown over the past, I think I started it in 2015. So John Nada and the Days of Thunder has been going now 2 years strong. And guys, I appreciate all the support. I see all of your comments. Give me time to get back with you. It can be very busy in the world of John Nada, and so I try to get back to all your comments and things and post it on the video. But just know that I appreciate your all support. I certainly appreciate the privilege to get on here and express my opinions and views, and to have many of you great listeners and subscribers, think enough to give me the time of day to listen to what I have to say. And it'd be cool at some point, although who knows if it'll ever happen, to have some big meetup. I know some people seem to be for the idea and others seem to be more against it. But I find myself lucky to have been able to do this. And like I said, there'll be more videos for 2018 as long as I continue to have a platform. And I consider myself fortunate to have the best audience in YouTube. I really do think, I've never seen a group I've never seen so many people in one group, so thoughtful and intelligent, and with their own ideas and personalities, all in one place. And yet we've come together for one common goal, one common purpose, and that is to live the lives that we see fit to live, and to live them in freedom and in truth. And so once again, like I said, this will be the last video, but certainly not the last video ever, just for this year. And I look forward to doing more of this next year. And I hope that there's a lot of goals, and I've mentioned them here on the program before, and I made some headway here and there, but it's all a process, guys. It's all about, putting time and effort into what it is that you want to see in your life and what it is you want to achieve. Once you put away gynocentrism, once you put away what it is that women want and worrying about impressing women, and you worry about going your own way and doing what it is that's going to make you happy in life, the sky's is the limit. You need only ask yourself, now that I've put aside gynocentrism and I've decided to go my own way now, what is there in the future for me? What is there out there? What is there to be discovered? Guys, until 2018, be safe, enjoy your celebrations, and remember, you're free to do as you're told.